Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. Friends, we had a spectacular session on Friday with Nifty going up by almost 135 points and Sensex registering a gain of more than 425 points, and in fact we are at 52-week high levels, and as the government is moving ahead with the reforms, the sentiment is getting better. Talking about the global markets, friends, US had a lackluster session, no major movement. But most of the European markets were up about 1.5 to almost 2%, as we are seeing that 2 trillion euros of more bailout funds are going to be made available to the ESM fund, which is definitely a big positive for the stability of the Eurozone. Talking about the Asian markets today, friends, most of the markets are showing some amount of weakness, particularly Kospi and Nikkei both. They are almost down about 1 to 1.5%. As the market is expecting some kind of an announcement from the Bank of Japan's minutes and the meeting which is underway right now. Talking about the flows, friends, we had a net buying by the FIIs in the cash market to the tune of almost 2300 odd crore, whereas the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of almost about 1120 odd crore. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues and the ideas we could look at in the F&O segment. Hi Shaival, good morning.
Good morning.
We are seeing a very strong movement in the markets over the past few sessions, but today looking at the SGX Nifty, we might open up about 35 odd points down. So what's your overall sense? Do you think that one should be looking at buying into this market, and are there any important levels around which one could consider that?
See, first of all, I'd like to draw your attention that the implied volatility has shot up significantly in past 2 to 3 trading sessions in the market, and due to which we've been seeing that there would be some uncertainty in the market as we have entered the expiry week. In spite of FIs being net seller of around more than 2,680 crores in Friday's trade, we have seen a good amount of long positions have been accumulated in the market, and the PCR ratio is also moved. We have seen that the PCR ratio from 0.90 has shot up to 0.125 from the entire series, from where we started. So even this is a good sign for the market. So what we feel is that any dip in the market, maybe say around 5,650 or say 5,620 levels, can be taken as an opportunity to go long, because our weekly VWAP is placed at 5,600 levels and we are trading above that. So our bias for the market is still positive. And on the higher side, we have seen that 5,800 call options stands with highest number of shares in the open interest on the call front. So probably that would act as a hurdle, or we can say that if the momentum would continue in the market, then probably 5,800 on the higher side can be targeted, and on lower side 5,600, as I said, would act as a support, because 5,600 put option has also witnessed a good activity in open interest.
Any interesting ideas that you can share with us?
See, although the SGX Nifty is trading lower, as a bias for the market is positive, we would like to play on the long side. So we recommend to buy Aban Offshore from intraday perspective with support of 425 rupees 35 paisa. BF Utility is also looking good. One can buy it with support of 419 rupees 20 paisa, and McLeod Russell is also looking attractive, so one can go long on that with support of 330 rupees 40 paisa.
Right, Shaival, thanks a lot for that update.
Thank you.
Friends, talking about the companies in the news today, there are reports that the Union government may continue with its reforms push, and particularly for the power sector and power distribution companies, they may come out with a comprehensive package which could lift the sentiment for some of the companies whose performances have been affected by the weakness in the investment cycle, and particularly whose exposure to power sector was significant. So companies like PFC, REC, and in fact some of the PSU banks like Canara Bank, which had exposure to the power sector, could see some kind of a buying interest on the back of that development. In case of Maruti, there are reports that the company is going to be coming out with all new Alto 800, and also company is looking at offering CNG option in the new Alto. So this is a positive news for Maruti. One can go long with a stop loss of 1287 and a target of about 1340 to 1354. In case of SAIL, the shareholders have approved the buyback program and on the back of that one could look at going long on sale with a stop loss of 90.75 and a target of about 94.5 to 96. Friends, one has to remember that some of these cash rich PSU companies, if they come out with some kind of a buyback program, then that could actually trigger off a lot of buying interest in the PSU space, and there could be a re-rating of that sector. So companies like Coal India and few others which have a good amount of cash in its books, we have to keep those companies in our radar. In case of Jet Airways, the Civil Aviation Ministry has relaxed the norms for the overseas flying for some of these companies, which is a positive for Jet Airways. One can go long there with a stop loss of 362 and a target of about 378 to 384. SBI has actually cut the benchmark prime lending rate or BPLR by 25 basis points to almost 14.5, and we are seeing a lot of buying interest in the PSU banking space. So one can go long on State Bank of India with a stop loss of 2180 and a target of about 2254 to about 2281. In case of Pipavav port, it is going to start the wheat cargo very soon, and company has also added facilities at its ports to handle the wheat, which is a positive for Pipavav port. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 76 and a target of about 79 to 81. And in case of Hindustan Copper, the company is likely to consider a divestment of almost 9.59% stake to raise about 2000 crores. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 263 and a target of about 275 to 282. In case of Reliance Industries, there are negative news, and the two blocks which were to be jointly developed by Reliance and BPCL could be given back, and that is a negative for Reliance. So one can go short there with a stop loss of 868 and a target of about 828 to 816. And in case of BPCL and the entire oil marketing companies, the CCI is likely to initiate a probe for unfair practices and price manipulation. So one can go short on BPCL with a stop loss of 353 and a target of about 338 to 332. That's it from all of us, friends. See you tomorrow at the same time.